beauty of this connection. Hold. Something seems to be up. We'll give it another second or two. See what happens. Seems to have become stable. All right, well, we're going to give it a go. Good morning, Danae. Good morning, Stefan. Good morning, Sunbury. Welcome to another One Mind meditation. Our teacher for this week is Oprah. I love, at least once a year, like right now, reading through some of her thoughts, some of her writing. I think she has a lot of value to share. Charlene, good morning. It's great seeing you. Hello. So let's get into today's message. The theme today is surrender. It can be the work of a lifetime to really understand surrender. Because it's not just about surrendering to what we need to let go of, but also surrendering to what needs to get done. Anami, good morning. Awesome seeing you. Hello. When to be and when to do, how do we learn this difference? Surrender is what leads us to this clarity. Hey Anthony, good evening man, great seeing you. Oprah says, when you have done everything that you can do, surrender. Give yourself up to the power and energy that's greater than yourself. Michelle, a very good morning, awesome seeing you. Oprah says, dream big, dream very big, work hard, in fact, work very hard. And after you've done all you can, you stand and wait and fully surrender. And the last thought from Oprah is, what has made me successful is the ability to surrender my plans, dreams, and goals to a power that is greater than other people and greater than myself. The journey of surrender is a delicate balance between being and doing. It's about discerning the moments when we need to actively engage and take action, and those when we must simply observe and allow. Surrender is not the same as passivity. Surrender requires from us the conscious choice to stop splashing. We must be willing to let go of our attachment to specific outcomes and embrace uncertainty. When we stop fighting, we become open to receiving guidance and support from a higher source. Lorraine, a very good morning. It's good to see you. By surrendering to the divine, we align ourselves with a power greater than ourselves. This alignment can lead to miraculous breakthroughs, unexpected opportunities, and profound transformation. But remember, surrender is not only about letting go. Surrender means nothing unless we are also surrendered to what needs to get done. If you're ready, you can close your eyes and we'll slip away on today's journey together, starting with the first few big breaths. Let's take a deep breath in and out. A deep breath in and out. A deep inhale and let it go. Deep breath in and out. One more big breath in. And let it all flow away. You can continue the same breathing pattern on your own time. Every slow inhale through your nose gets drawn all the way deep down into your belly. And as you fill up your belly with air, also raise yourself up. As you breathe in, stretch out your spine. Lift the top of your head toward the ceiling. And once you've reached your full height, let all of it go. With every exhale, soften. With every breath out, soften your spine, slump down your shoulders and drop your head. While you continue your full body breathing, feeling yourself rise with every inhale, and feeling your body soften and fall with every exhale. I want to share with you a few questions to reflect on. So continue softening and see where your mind goes when I ask these questions. The first question is, what areas of my life am I holding on too tightly? Where in my life, what areas of my life am I holding on to too tightly? What comes up for you? The next question, see what comes up for you is, am I willing to trust the universe to guide me? What is my relationship with guidance? Have I cultivated a relationship with guidance? What is your relationship with divine guidance? And the last question: what is the difference between surrender and apathy? What is the difference between surrender and just being passive and giving up? We'll take the last few big breaths of this phase together, helping our bodies stretch and adjust and settle down into as much comfort as possible for the rest of our journey. Take a deep breath in. As you release, drop your head all the way forward. Roll out your neck muscles, forward and to the left, forward and to the right. Take a deep breath in. As you release, roll your shoulders forward in big, slow circles. Take a deep breath in. As you release, roll your shoulders backwards in big circles, nice and slow. Take a deep breath in. As you release, focus on your spine. Lean your upper body over to the left. And lean your upper body over to the right. This is another thing that's worth doing a few times during our day. Along with taking big breaths, also giving your spine some movement. Very easily, much of our day is completely stationary. And we don't have the kind of movement that helps spinal fluid move up and down. So it's well worth taking a few moments a day to give your spine some movement. That wakes up your nervous system. It switches on your brain. One more big breath in. And as you release, you can stretch or move or adjust any part of your body that still needs a bit of help settling down. Having softened our bodies into a state of presence, or at least becoming as present as we possibly can be right now, we can now turn our attention inwards and dive deep inside for the next part of our journey. With every next inhale, we'll hold our breath for a few short moments, followed by a really long, really slow exhale. And if you don't have the time to sit for the whole meditation with us, then this is always a good place to stop. But if you are here for the whole journey, we'll take the next few big breaths together. Take a deep breath in and hold. As you release, make it a really long, really slow exhale. Take a deep breath in and hold. As you release, feel into your body. Feel how softness slips in and settles in every part of your body. Take a deep breath in and hold. As you release, follow the downwards flow through your body. Feel your shoulders slowly falling. Feel your body slowly softening. And feel how you are slowly slipping deeper into you. One more big breath in and hold. And as you release, feel yourself melting. Feel your whole body dissolving. Feel how you are slipping into a deeper level of surrender with every slow exhale. You can continue the same breathing pattern on your own time. Every slow inhale through your nose is an invitation. It invites you to turn inwards and follow this journey. As you breathe in, feel the air flow in through your nostrils. Feel the air touch the back of your throat. Stay with your breath as it flows in through your lungs. And as you fill up the balloon inside your belly, feel yourself slip all the way in. Hold your breath, but hold it only for as long as it feels easy, followed by a really long, really slow exhale. With your next big breath, as you dive deep into you, the topic today is surrender. And the question is, what is your relationship to surrender? Take your next big breath. For this journey, for this specific meditation, I love using the analogy of a pond. A pond of water that could be completely calm, glassy smooth on the surface, or it could have been stirred up into a storm. And this comes from a very old teaching that says, your true nature is just like this pond of water. Just like this water, your true nature is also to return to calm and clarity in the absence of splashing. Now, of course, it is true that we do need to take action as well. Action is a part of the equation. But can we become better at recognizing when our action has turned into splashing? How has your relationship grown with that? Is it something you have become better at? Recognizing when your action has turned into splashing? Take your next big breath. Splashing happens when we are acting in desperation. Splashing happens when we are acting from a place of fear. And very often when we are acting in fear, even with the best of intentions, we are making things worse. Take a moment to envision what happens in the bottom of the pond as we splash. We stir up mud and salt. We can't see the bottom of the pond anymore. And trying to make sense of where to place our foot next becomes really hard to do. Can you find examples in your own life of, for an extended period of time, acting in fear and finding that everything you're doing seems to make things worse? See if you can find your own examples. Take your next big breath. worst part of acting in fear is how we get to see ourselves while we are splashing. Just imagine standing in a pond with choppy surface that we have just stirred up into a storm. What happens when you look down at your own reflection in the middle of the storm? What do you see of yourself? When you're acting in desperation, isn't it true that at our worst, the image we have of ourselves is always of a broken, fragmented image? This is part of why we can be so disappointed in ourselves when we're acting in fear, because the image we see of ourselves is broken. Take your next big breath. The old teaching says that your true nature is just like this pond. In the absence of interference, you will return to calm, just like this pond. And perhaps we could just say, in the presence of balance, you will return to calm. Because everything needs balance. There's an ebb and flow to everything. We can't be trying to take action all the time. Even just that, the belief that we have to be acting all the time, even just that will lead to splashing. Do you have the patience to take a step back and wait? Do you have the patience to see where surrender leads? With your next big breath, diving deep into you, do that. Take a step back, watch the water, and see that eventually, no matter how big the storm was, eventually the water will settle. Take your next big breath. When we surrender and the water settles, it always brings some clarity, even if it's just a little bit. But we can get better at this, and it can become easier to find the clarity again and again. As the bottom of the pond becomes visible again, we can see where to place our foot next. But even more important than that, when we have returned back to calm, then how we see ourselves is also different. It is just like looking at the surface of this calm water and seeing our reflection. In our natural state, our reflection is a lot more clear. We get a lot closer to seeing the truth of who we are. So can you remind yourself, as you take your next big breath and dive deep into you, can you remind yourself that the next time you find yourself in the middle of a storm and you catch the reflection of yourself, can you remind yourself that this is not true? The reflection you're seeing is just the effect of the storm. But you will come to remember, you will come to re-know yourself again in the calm. Take your next big breath. We'll take the last few big breaths of this phase together, slipping out of the breath holding space and into the next. Take a deep breath in and hold. As you release, make it a long, slow exhale. Take a deep breath in and hold. As you release, feel how softness slips into your body and settles in every cell of your body. One more big breath in and hold. And as you release, feel yourself slip all the way through. There is no more attention on your breathing. You can sit all the way back or even lie all the way back down and feel yourself just floating. I'll read to you one more time these few thoughts by Oprah this morning. She says, when you have done everything that you can do, then surrender. Give yourself up to the power and energy that is greater than yourself. She says, dream big, dream very big. She says, work hard, in fact, work very hard. And after you've done all you can, you stand, wait, and fully surrender. And the last thought from Oprah says, what has made me successful is the ability to surrender my plans, my dreams, and my goals to a power that is greater than other people and greater than myself. Of course, we need to take action too. Surrender is almost like an agreement, a little bit like the serenity prayer, where to let go and where to take action. Surrender is similar. There's an agreement. There's an agreement that I will take action on the clarity that I receive. When the water clears enough for me to see where to place my foot next, then I will take that step. Committing to act on the clarity I receive is equally surrender, because surrender means nothing if it's only letting go and only doing nothing. Surrender only means anything when we are also surrendered to taking the action that needs to be taken. But can we become better at recognizing when our action turns into splashing? And every time we realize we're splashing, take a break, take a breath, take a step back, and ask yourself, do I have the patience to wait for the water to settle? We have the last 5 breaths of gratitude to do together. With every exhale, I'll say my thank you, and I invite you to say yours. Take a deep breath in. Thank you for learning how to recognize my own splashing. Take a deep breath in. Thank you for really having learned to not trust the image I see when there's a storm in my pond. Learning that when I look down at that reflection, really understanding that that's not a true reflection of who I am. That's just what this moment feels like. Take a deep breath in. Thank you for being kind to myself when I realize I'm splashing again. Magic probably does not lie in never splashing, but in becoming really good at recognizing when we do. Take a deep breath in. Thank you for learning to trust that the water always settles, because it always does. And the only times it feels like the water is not settling is when I lose patience and I stick my hand back into the pond and I try and make the water settle. One more big breath in. Thank you, beautiful people. Thank you for becoming good at recognizing when you're splashing. Tanya, very good morning. It's great seeing you. Anita, good morning. It's awesome to have you with us this morning. Thank you, Michelle. Thank you, Danae. Thank you, Maggie. Thank you, Stefan. Thank you, Sunmarie. Thank you, Anthony. Thank you, Anami. Wishing you all a beautiful day. And if you find yourself splashing, you can trust that if you can be patient, the water will settle. And you'll see yourself in a new light again. Lots of love to you all. Have a beautiful day. Adios.